Hi. We are students of MPM Cohort 2019A, from the Ateneo School of Government. Today, we will briefly tackle transactional leadership, transformational leadership, and servant leadership theories. We will be presenting the core of each of the perspectives, identify the strengths and weaknesses of each perspective, and identify the variables or factors by which we could compare and contrast these perspectives and analyze accordingly. We will start with transactional leadership theory. Transactional leadership theory was defined with three dimensions. First is the contingent reward, which describes the concept of giving rewards to workers for meeting the set expectations. Second is the passive management by exception, wherein the leader interferes when problems or issues arise. Third is the active management by exception, wherein the leaders already anticipate the issues. This theory aims to focus on the results, and in achieving the goals of an organization, based on the set of rules, regulations, and processes. Transactional leadership is simple and practical, that can be easily practiced. It is direct and systematic. The rules, instructions, and expectations are clearly provided. It provides individuals' basic needs. By offering rewards to the followers for accomplishing tasks, it promotes efficiency, using the chain of command to reduce time decision-making. It rewards performance, as motivation to followers when they accomplish their tasks, and it is suitable for linear work structure. However, transactional leadership has less emphasis on employee collaboration and group goals. It is appealing to self-interest goals but not on group goals. It is not suitable for complex and non-linear work structure. It can decrease employee motivation. For those who seek deeper meanings, participation and collaboration. It promotes disadvantages of authoritarian leadership, like lack of insights, feedback and innovation and micromanagement. It is rigid. It limits creativity and ability to think outside the box. It discourages independent thinking, due to the status quo and system. It is passive. There are no proactive measures to prevent problems. Transactional leadership works in linear structured organizations, the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police. It can also work in crisis caused by natural disasters or war which needs an immediate response and action. The next theory is the transformational leadership theory. Transformational leadership is a process of building commitment to organizational objectives and then empowering followers to accomplish those objectives. There are four primary behaviors that constitute transformational leadership. First behavior is the idealized influence or charismatic influence. The leader respects his followers as individuals and values the contributions that each follower can make to the team. Second is inspirational motivation. The leader encourages creativity in his followers and followers are encouraged to ask questions, think deeply and find a better way to perform tasks. Third is intellectual stimulation. Followers are motivated to work harder because they're driven by the leader's vision of the future and believe in their own abilities. Last is the individualized consideration. The leader provides a role model for ethical behavior. Followers do as the leader asks because he instills pride, gains respect and earns their trust. Transformational leadership is the most effective style of leadership based on established research. It promotes creativity and innovation through collaboration. It builds and maintains motivation and satisfaction of individuals. It can reduce turnover costs. However, transformational leadership carries a high potential for abuse. If the leader's motives or ethical standards are poor, they can manipulate their follower. It can place high amounts of pressure on the followers. Their high level of involvement in achieving collective goals and objectives might leave them feeling overworked or even exploited. It requires a continuous feedback loop. If the communications fail, there's a risk to lose commitment to the vision. Leaders lose power if people disagree with them. If someone disagrees with the leader's vision for the organization, then he loses the ability to influence them, and he loses all his power. An example of transformation leadership in the Philippines is the transformational leadership in Naga City. It was attributed to the election of Jesse Robredo as the city's mayor. Robredo, as the city's political leader, facilitated the transformation of leadership by using his authority to groom and mentor other individuals, groups, and even the community itself, to become leaders. And now the last item in our menu is the servant leadership theory. The best way to define servant leadership is that the servant leader is servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. The servant leader shares power, puts the needs of others first and helps people develop and perform as highly as possible. There are 10 pillars that defines the character of a servant leader. Listening to what is being said as well as not being said. Empathy is striving to understand and empathize with others. Healing is the potential for healing oneself and others. Awareness. Servant leaders are strengthened by self-awareness. Persuasion is relying on persuasion, rather than using one's authority in making decisions. Conceptualization is the ability to look at a problem from a conceptualizing perspective. Foresight enables to understand the lessons from the past, the realities of the present, and the likely consequence of a decision for the future. Stewardship is assuming first and foremost a commitment to serving the needs of others. Commitment to the growth of people, looking at the growth of every individual. Building community is to identify some means for building community. In servant leadership, decisions are based on the benefit of all. The decision should be made in the best interest of everyone. It encourages empathy, servant leaders looking at the situation in the shoes of others. People grow in a servant leadership environment. This type of environment encourages people to work together for their mutual benefit. However, decisions take longer to be made. This slows down the implementation process of the decision. Finding true servant leaders would be difficult. Being a servant leader means giving up one's own self-glory. Servant leadership will not fit every organization. The notable servant leader in the Philippine public service was the former President Ramon Magsaysay. His efforts of addressing people's concern and earning their trust in the government. Magsaysay established the Presidential Complaints and Action Committee to make sure that the concerns of the masses or the common tao were heard and taken care of. One of the reasons why Magsaysay earned people's trust is his humility. Let's compare the three different theories. Both transactional and transformational leadership involve leaders and followers to benefit from the process. Both use motivational approaches. A transactional leader is responsive, works within the organizational culture, use rewards and punishment, and motivates followers with self-interest. A transformational leader is proactive, works to change the organizational culture, achieve objectives through higher ideals and moral values, and motivates followers by encouraging them to put group interests first. Both transformational and servant leadership are people-oriented, appreciate and value people, incorporate, influence, vision, trust, respect, delegation, and integrity. A transformational leader has the desire to lead, inspire followers, unite and inspire group to pursue group goals. A servant leader has the desire to serve the followers and community for their development. Finally, we will be leaving you questions for you to ponder. First is, what do you think is the most applicable or effective leadership style for Philippine public service? Next, who among the Philippine presidents has or have the best leadership style? What leadership style did they use? And that ends our presentation. We hope we did well. Thank you for watching. And God bless.